Hey, everybody, and welcome to the Katie Weaver Show. This is Katie. I'm your host. I'm so happy to be here. If you are listening live, it is the 31st of May at about 11 a.m. Pacific time. If you're listening to an archive or a replay, I also want to welcome you to the show. I want to let you know that you can find us chatting over in the chat room on Facebook. You can find that by heading over to 12radio.com. Click on the chat button and you'll be redirected into the Facebook chat. We are also live streaming this event from Facebook and YouTube, so you can find that Katie Weaver, Domestic Mystic, in either place. So that's how to find me. I'm going to get rid of these big, weird headphones. Oh, no. Well, the hair's not great. We camped for days, and, well, I don't think my hair's recovered. Well, oh, well, it is what it is. The puppies chewed through my headphones. So I had to borrow some from Scott this morning and they were enormous. I've got to get better headphones bought. Anyway, welcome, welcome, welcome. I hope you guys had a great weekend. I hope you had a chance to do something fun. We camped in the rain. It rained every day. And you expect it. I mean, we were just glad it wasn't snow because it did snow in higher elevations. And this time of year, that's just kind of what you get. So it was fine. We played a lot of games. We sat around the fire. We built a cook shack with a couple of pop up shelters so that we could do all of our cooking, well, in the camper too. But mostly we just cooked in our little cook shack out of the rain. And honestly, we had a wonderful time. It was great. All three of our kids are home. So it was awesome. And Scott did pledge to come and show you guys the puppies, so hopefully he remembers and comes in so that you can see what our little bruisers are looking like these days. They have both gained a full pound. We weighed them last week when they had their shots. They've gained a full pound since we got them. So, I mean, they're getting huge. They're not. They're still tiny boys. And now they're camping dogs, kind of. The place we camp over Memorial weekend is there's a tree that has a family of hawks that really overlook where we camp. And so you just have to be really careful. I'll take them so that, your babies don't become hawk food. So, but here's little Bruno. Oh, yeah. I mean, it's getting so big, don't you think? Yeah. And here's Luca, and I'm going to show them together so you guys can see how much bigger. Do not be fighting with your brother on the radio. Bruno, that's not nice. Here, Luca, show your face. Here, Luca. Oh, here's Luca. He's such a nice boy. And Bruno's always, I don't know, fighting everybody, actually. But you can see, like, Luca's quite a bit bigger than Bruno. Okay, back to Dad. Here you go. But at any rate, they did get to be camping guys, but only kind of because we didn't dare let them run around at all. Well, there's also big, busy canals on either side of that little island that we were camping on, so you just can't let them run. But that's okay; they don't need to. But anyway, we kept them safe from the hawks, and also kept them warm because it was so cold. But anyway, they did just fine. They're very good boys. So, yeah, it was fun. It was super fun. And now they get to be camping dogs. So, what can you do? They're pretty lucky. Oh gosh, Tara's puppy helped himself to a bag of suckers yesterday while she was at work. Oh man. That looks like stuff that goes on in my house on a daily. Yep. We have to be so careful. Between dogs and pigs, and the pigs are so insanely food motivated, they'll do anything to get to food if they can get to it. Anything. But we are working diligently on being ready. This week is the first witches market that we're going to take part in at Healing Hands at my old business in Idaho Falls. And we have been working so hard to get all of our stuff done. It's crazy talk. And I can't even tell you, like I have made probably 60 pairs of socks. not making the socks. I have pressed 60 pairs of socks and oh my gosh, art. I can't even tell you how much art I've made. It is bananas, you guys. It truly is. I have done so much stuff getting ready. Hey, Tara. And I I feel like I have worried that we didn't have enough inventory to really show up and do a show. And now I'm realizing I don't have the first clue how we're going to display all of this stuff. I really don't. Or have enough room for all of it. But that's okay. See, my theory is it's much better to be over prepared than under prepared. And we're going to be over prepared. So it's good. But holy moly, I have been working hard. That's all I can say about that. I posted a couple of pictures in the chat. I know. I wish that it was local, or that, yeah, you were local so that you guys could come. It's going to be fun. It's kind of an interesting thing because where we owned Healing Hands for all those years, like, you would think that I would know a lot of the people there, but I don't. It's just so different. It's very different clientele, different folks. So it's kind of fun. You just get to be kind of another face in the crowd. But I was going to share a couple of pictures that I took of the boys this weekend. So there's Luca having a very big nap in a blankie because, they wear themselves out pretty fast. And here's Bruno in a little hooded baby towel, trying to dry him off and keep him warm in the rain. I think he looks a little bit like ET in this picture, but poor Bruno. Anyway, yeah, so that's what's been happening. I even made hey Kate, I even made the puppies. Hey Jane, or made the puppies, the kids. I made the girls sit down yesterday and help me do a whole bunch of foil art. I designed and printed 150 foil art designs, and I've just been needing to sit down and foil them. So, anyway, I've been working hard on that. So, it's crazy. It's crazy, crazy what we've been working on our house between the kids being home, so their stuff and their dogs being here. And this is not a big house. But once the uh, once the fair's over, then I can probably leave it packed up for the next fair. So this is good. I need this to come. Some things I'm not going to get done though. There was more resin I wanted to pour, but I just don't think I'm going to get there. And I bought a case of wooden spoons to engrave, and I don't think I'm going to get those done either. But there's always next time, right? And I still have mugs and tumblers coming tomorrow to press. We'll see. I do this at Christmas time too, panic at the last minute and try and cram way more in than I actually have time for. But it's okay. We're going to live through this. And who knows? Maybe our stuff won't do that well anyway. The first one really is to tell you what people actually want and are interested in. So it'll be interesting. Yeah. Yeah. Just keep bringing it and changing your display. See, I think that's a good idea. Yeah. Well, and a sign. I realized I told Scott we don't have a sign or a banner or anything that has the name of our business on it. So, of course, he just jumped into gear last night and engraved a big 4 foot long, you know, sign that says Joyful Goddess with our logo on it. And I did fill that with resin this morning and it's really cool. So that's done. So, it's fine. Everything's fine. And yes, thank you all very much for that. It is our anniversary today. 25 freaking years. I said 25 years of Scott putting up with my bullshit. And definitely 25 years of me putting up with his too. But anyway, yeah, I can't believe it. When we got married, we were 19. And everybody said, "Oh my gosh, you're just babies. You look like babies." And oh, for God's sake, why? Why do we get these spammers in the comments? Goodbye. Good Lord. Okay. Sorry about that. It's always on Facebook too. All right. Anyway, yes, everyone said we were just too young. We were babies. How could we possibly get married this young? But by God, we did it. And now I'm still like, holy shit, we were babies. We were 19. My youngest is 19. And I'm looking at her going, huh. Now, do I think she could get married and be a responsible member of society? Yeah, I definitely do. But that is young. It's younger than I thought it was way back when. So when we got married, we were active Mormons, and so we got married in the temple. And when you get married in the temple, that means that your wedding is closed to most of your family. The only people that can attend your wedding are people that are active temple recommend carriers, which means they have to be Mormon and they have to be following all the rules, which includes paying your tithing for like 6 months or a year, which is 10% of your income, as well as following all of the other rules. And so when we got married, my parents and a couple of aunts and one set of Scott's aunt and uncles were really the only people that were able to come. And in hindsight, I'm like, God damn it, that is so dumb and sucks so much. Like my siblings couldn't be there because they were too young. They weren't temple recommend carriers. Just it's dumb, but whatever. Anyway, um, but I remember at the temple, the temple's full of really old ladies and old men that work there, and so all these adorable little old ladies were when they had me all dressed and ready for my wedding, dragging me all over the temple by the hand to go show me to their friends. Look at this little thing. Isn't she darling? Isn't she tiny? Isn't she so young? She's so, oh my goodness. I can't even. It just cracks me up now. And at the time, I was like, okay, maybe a little bit offended. But anyway, but that's where it's at. So I just still laugh about it now. But anyhow, so then of course you do have a big wedding reception that all of your family can come to and stuff, but that's the way marriage is done in the Mormon church. And it's it sucks. It sucks. Now, in hindsight, I think about how much that sucks. Scott's parents couldn't be there for our wedding because they had just gotten divorced and they were definitely not following the rules. And lots of other people that I would have wanted to be present. Weird, isn't it? Yeah. What do they say? The more you know? Yeah. Anyway, so how are we celebrating today? Well, we're not. We're going to have to wait for the weekend. I mean, we did just camp for 3 days or 4 days and have a lot of fun anyway. But Scott has to umpire tonight. So so the beat marches on. You know how life goes. Especially as grown-ups, you just do what you have to do or and want to do or whatever, but the beat marches on. So here we are. But it is bullshit, Lillian. I agree entirely. Entirely about not your family not being able to attend your wedding. Ridiculous. Yeah, Brandy. Right. Brandy said if you didn't and had a civil marriage, then you had to wait a year to get sealed in the temple. Yeah. Yeah, it's quite the exclusive club, and you also are, busily paying your way to heaven because you have to pay. You have to pay. Yeah, I know. Gross and weird. I get it. Hello, Dawn. Good to see you. Anyway, so here we are, 25 years later. But I feel like I look tired today. I am tired today. I'm fine, but actually, I've been really lucky because having the kids with us, I helped Mars a lot with papers the second semester of school because she needed it. I did a lot of editing for her and helped her write some things. And so she, to pay me back for that, she did all of the camping prep, which was really nice because it's a huge job to get ready to go. And oh, I missed a question up here too. No, we still don't have the motorhome home. we have a fifth wheel that we usually camp in. So I was wanting to bring both because I'll tell you what, with all five of us and everybody's dogs, that fifth wheel just doesn't feel big enough anymore. And I told Scott, wouldn't it be cool if we had the motorhome? We can camp in that, and the kids can have the fifth wheel, and like their chaos can be far from us, which would be fine. But anyway, no, it's still in Billings waiting for us to come and fix it. But the parts have been ordered, so hopefully sometime next week we can carve out a day where we can drive to Billings and fix it and get it done. Yeah, it's so crazy. All the prep, you're right, Dawn's getting everything set up, buying the groceries is it's I can't understand with camping. Regular groceries for this household are, well, we probably spend 150-ish bucks a weekish just for me and Scott, and then if Mars is here, maybe a little more, right? $300 for 4 days of camping, right? Like, why is it so expensive? But it is. It is. Something about just all of it is so expensive. But it's fun and it's worth it. Like, it's fine. But yeah, it is an enormous amount of work. But anyhow, since the kids are here, they also completely unloaded the camper and put everything away, which was amazing because obviously I have other things to worry about this week. Also, I'm old and tired, so I need young people to do things around here. Yeah. Well, I hope that you guys are having a good week. It seems like the collective energy is a little different. It still feels pretty combative to me, and I'm curious about that. However, there's a really good vibe coming in of creativity this week. I feel like a lot of us are going to be able to take this week as a kind of a creative reset to work on some things that you want to maybe do some beautifying of your house, planting flowers, maybe your body, maybe it's whatever. But I feel like we're all gonna there's a creative vibe coming that, and here's why I think we all need some happy distractions. I think we need some happy distractions so that we can kind of step away from all of the anger and the fear and the ugly, and it's not going anywhere. And I'm not saying don't be aware of your surroundings and your communities and stuff. I'm not saying that at all because we all need to be very aware. But I also think that sometimes it's too much. And I don't know about you guys, but this last week since the shooting in Texas, that hit me so hard. I, you know, all of the school shootings, all of the mass casualty events hit me hard, but uh, some of them just hit you harder than others, and this one has really rocked me. I can freely admit it. And as empaths, we talk a lot about, you know, not absorbing too much that isn't yours and being aware of that. And I've been working on it, and I know you guys have too, but man, this one has rocked me. Just rocked me. One of the things that really got to me is that I was reading about how four of the little girls that died were softball players. And we wrapped up our softball season last week. Scott and I are on the board of our local girls softball association, and we have kids from 6U all the way up to 14U. And so those little girls that died would have played on 10U teams. And there was a quote from one of the aunts that said that she had spoken to her niece the night before. She was supposed to have her last game that afternoon, the day she died. And then they were going to announce who made the all-star team. And she was really, really nervous because she really wanted to make the all-star team and get to play summer ball. And she was really excited to play her last game and said that she wished her season would have lasted longer because she's had so much fun. And that just killed me. That gutted me. Four of them were my kids, they were our kids. All of those kids were our kids. And that one just, ooh, that rocked me. So I can say, this one has probably hit me harder and rocked me more than others. And I've had to take a bit of a step back, especially as more of the details have come out, the more astonishing this becomes in the way it was handled and mishandled and the way we just let kids get slaughtered and didn't do anything, not we, but the police involved. I just can't, I can't understand it. I'll never understand why those children were disposable in so many different ways. I just can't. And I don't even know what to say about it. I have nothing. Everybody says, well, this is just evil. This wasn't evil. Of course it was evil, but this wasn't evil. This was a very messed up, broken person who, as we know now, told us over and over and over and over that he was going to do something like this. He had an account on Yubo, which is some kind of social media that I'm not on, and had said so many times on there that he was going to shoot up a school that it was his nickname on that app was the school shooter, and so many other things. So many other people he said things to and posted. And now in hindsight, everyone's like, oh, yeah, I remember that guy. Yeah, you should. You should. We have got to get better at if you see something, say something. Better be wrong, right? Did you know that in that school district in 2018, there was a credible threat to shoot up the high school? A credible threat. And the police investigated and they busted two kids that had weapons and a plan? Yeah, this almost happened 4 years ago. It wasn't him. It wasn't this shooter. It was two other kids. What the hell is going on? What the hell is going on? I could talk about it all day and I don't think you want to. I don't think I want to, but I don't. I've got nothing. Yeah. Brandy, me too. The fact that they waited so long to go in while kids were in there injured and he was just continuing to do what he was doing. I can't. I cannot. I cannot. I don't know what to say about it. I have nothing. Yeah, nothing. And people are calling it cowardice, and the police chief is saying that's really unfair. It wasn't cowardice. They were just trying to do the right thing. And were they, though? Because they got their kids out. Parents trying to get into that building that were being detained, who were just desperately trying to save their children. That one mother was handcuffed because she was trying to get into the building because the police weren't, and finally managed to get someone to take off those cuffs. She scaled the fence, ran inside the school with an active shooter, which I think most of us would do if our kids were in there and no one else was helping them. And she gathered up her kids and a bunch of other kids and brought them out to safety. Just a mom. She had no gun, she had no vest, she had nothing. Just her and her mama bear and mother's resolve to get her children out and get them safe. And thank God she did. But I cannot with this. And all I can say is I hope it's a catalyst for change because I can't be nice about it. I cannot be civil about it. I don't want to be. And I just don't have it in me. I've had to be careful on social media because I really don't want to go fight it out on social media right and left. I don't. But at the same time, I just cannot with all of this. She is a hero. I agree, Lillian. Absolutely. But also, why? Right. If someone wants to run in there and our children are in there, that should be our right. I agree with you, Dawn. I agree. There were other parents that were pepper sprayed that were also detained. What the hell? I There's so much I don't understand about this. And does it just boil down to cowardice? Does it? Does it? Because in my mind it does. In my mind it does. And if cops are so afraid of that gun, why the hell is it on the streets? If police officers are terrified to have to go up against people that are packing that gun, why the hell is it on the streets? I cannot. I cannot. So let's move on. I I don't know what else to say about it. I will say this though, for this week, the Schumann resonance has finally settled down. It's a 10 today, which is great. Um, it's been in the 50s for 2 weeks, up and down and up and down. And That's probably part of all the crazy stuff. Oh, the meteor shower. I'm curious. Did any of you guys see the meteor shower last night? There was like a 50-50 shot that we were going to have a major meteor shower that went on for hours, like 1,000 meteors per hour or something wild like that. But we didn't have clear skies because it's just been raining. So we had nothing to see. But I'm curious if any of you guys did or if it actually even happened. Because the last I had read, scientists were pretty sure it was going to happen, that it wasn't ever 100%. So I'm curious to know. What is the Schumann? So the Schumann resonance is it is the heartbeat of the earth. It is a pulse or a frequency that was being made that was found by a guy named Schumann in the 1950s, um, and for from the 1950s until about 2014, it measured 7.33 hertz. That's what it's measured in, is hertz. It's a magnetic pull or a magnetic pulse. And then in around 2013, 2014, it started going way up, like 20s and back down, and then 40s, and then 50s. And then in 2017, it actually went over 100 a few times. And one of the things that we notice is that when the world is acting particularly crazy, when really wild things are happening, a lot of times the Schumann resonance is spiking really high. The mean is always 7.3, and it'll almost always come back down to that. But when it gets high, and for the last 2 weeks, it's been, yeah, like I said, up into the 50s or more every day. And that has been, to me, one of the indicators that people who are typically on the edge are teetering or slipping over. There were 12 more mass shooting events over the weekend. 12. So what is a mass shooting event? What is it? What qualifies as a mass shooting event? Four or more people in the same incident being shot or killed. 12 over the weekend here in the US. 12. 12. At things like graduation parties and concerts and just public settings. People are not okay. They're not okay. But the Schumann has settled down, so I'm hoping that'll help other people to settle down. So we'll see. So, and actually, Dawn, I'll put up a link too so that you can see. This is my favorite site for measuring it. Some of this site is just propaganda and stuff that I'm not that interested in. But they measure it well. So you're looking for the amplitude. The number that you want to see is the power, the amplitude. That'll tell you what you want to know. And so you should, when we see that, like today it's 10. When it's like between 7 and 8, that's when we're at like the calmest space. But anyway, I'll share this link in case you guys are interested in it. I've looked at a lot of sites. Some of them are very hard to understand. This one is the easiest, but like I said, it's also got weird shit on it that I'm not interested in. But to just see that power, that number is what I want to see. That's what I want to know. Mary said, I keep wondering if the reason I can't get well is because of what's going on around me. Sure could use a clearing. You bet, Mary. Yeah, you've got some strife around you, don't you? Yeah, I'll do that for you, babe. Let's do Luminous and then we'll do some readings and some healings. How's that? Okay, so I shared Luminous in both chat rooms. I'm just going to share the screen here and we'll go through a few things. Okay. All righty. So I did call this the Creative Genius Edition because this could be a very creative week. And like Brandy said, she's moving into a brand new apartment, so that's good creative energy for her. That's awesome. I suspect that most of the creative energy we will see this week is like beautification in some way. People working on their space or stuff like that. I think we'll see quite a bit of it. And that you'll just, hopefully you'll have the time, the energy, the resources, whatever you need to follow through with whatever creative vibe is coming in for you. But that just seems to be a thing right now. So we'll see how it plays out for everybody. Okay, I did share a memoir. I think I shared this a couple of years ago too, but this is a memoir about opening fishing weekend or Memorial Weekend. My dad called it opening fishing weekend because that's what was the most exciting part of it to him. So, the man with a fisherman. But anyway, just some fun memories of camping as a kid. And then Kelly has got bitch scopes for us. She said curiosity, receptivity, openness. That's what it's all about this week. So we'll take a look, read somebody's scope here. Let's see. Let's read Leo. The new moon lands in your 11th house of dreams, ambitions, and connections. As a new group, tribe, friend, or alliance is likely. As you manifest, keep in mind that it is not what you know, but who you know at this juncture that matters. You should see some progress in your career or public image from all the action that has built up in your 10th house. And Saturn will begin retrograde in your 7th house. Saturn in the 7th can upset relationships that don't have a strong foundation and show you where the cracks are, should you desire to patch them. In a strong relationship, it is likely that the bond and foundation will deepen even further. Either way, it is a good opportunity to look at your relationships and take some inventory. Let's read one more. Let's go to Cap. Is it time for a new routine of some kind? Yes. The answer is yes, of course. The Gemini new moon in the 6th house offers this opportunity to tweak your daily habits. Minor changes can bring really beautiful awareness and gifts. The 6th house is about wellness and health, as well as your immediate surroundings. Could be time for some feng shui. Your 5th house of romance is pretty packed with sexy Taurus energy, so enjoy. Mercury going direct, there could get it going even more. Saturn will become retrograding in your 2nd house of income. But before you piss your pants and call the bank, this is an opportunity to make things better. Redo your budget, renegotiate your salary, examine what you need to feel more materially secure. So there you go. That is Capricorn. So be sure you read your scope. Read your boss's scope, your kid's scope, your significant other's scope, your neighbor's scope, whoever you need to understand so that you can get through the week and understand what the hell they're up to. All right. The tip of the week is sage. So, as we know, in North America, in Native American communities, sage has always been known as a purification herb, among others. And the process of burning sage is known as smudging. And smudging's really powerful for clearing stagnant energy out of your house or whatever space. But there has been some argument the past few years. Some people have called smudging a closed practice. I learned how to smudge from Native American friends who've never considered it to be a closed practice. But here's what's wrong. Because of the New Age community, because we all jumped on smudging because it is such a powerful practice, the over harvesting of white sage has become a problem because white sage needs to be available for Native American communities. And we've been gobbling it up. And white sage only grows in very specific places. I have a client that lives in California who it actually grows on her land. And every couple of years, she sends me a big box of it, which is wildly appreciated. But white sage is not as available as it would need to be for us to continue to use it exclusively. And so I love sage, but I'm going to make some suggestions to you. First of all, sage that's local to you is fine. It doesn't have to be white sage. Not at all. Desert sage is amazing. Sage you grow in your garden is fine. You can grow just common sage, any culinary sage, pineapple sage, mint sage, any of those herbs can be dried and burned and used to purify your space. You can also make a strong tea out of them and spray that around if you'd rather not burn stuff or if you live in a place where you can't burn stuff. But did you know that basil is also a purification herb? In South America, it's well known as in plant magic as a purification herb, and you can do the same thing with it. You can burn basil. It's an intense experience, but you can also uh, make a strong tea out of basil and spray it around your space. Did you know that rosemary in plant magic is an enhancer? So if you have a big job to do, like say you have a space that's had some serious trauma, or like Brandy wants to, do some clearing of her new apartment, maybe add a sprig of rosemary because rosemary helps to enhance any other work you're doing. But this is a good time for it. Oh, Dawn said I did a bunch of spring cleaning and organizing the last couple of weeks. Yeah, this is a great time for it. But while you're doing that, be sure that you do some space clearing as well. Because as you are clearing up old stagnant stuff, it's important to also clear up the energy of the space. So that's where smudging comes in. But if you're curious about why you might be hearing that it's a closed practice or what this all means, that's what it means. That's what it means. So be respectful, be smart, and don't hesitate to use things other than white sage. That's where the argument comes in. Is the white sage. You know, as usual, we are such consumers and we gobble everything up and make it a problem. So you don't have to use white sage. If you live in California and you can get white sage, you can pick it and you have it, great. If you've already bought a bunch of white sage, use it. That's fine. Just consider getting away from it as we progress. That's all. Hey, Paula. That's all. Okay. All right. The Kindred Spirits Energy Oracle reading from Christy is the Breakthrough card. I'll let you watch her video on that. The Magic Monday message from Melissa. I love my dreams. That's an awesome postcard, isn't it? And if you guys are working on manifesting, if you're working on creating more in your life or better in your life, accomplishing some goals, go follow Melissa Caprio or Postcards to the Universe on Facebook. She has a beautiful radio show. She used to be here on 1-2 Radio. She's on Om Times now. She has one book out and another one on the way. And she does a lot of really cool work with manifesting that you may very well benefit from. All of the postcards that she shares in Luminous, those are manifestations that she's creating. But she'll also teach you how to make your own and use them to manifest better in your life, which is pretty amazing. So go follow Melissa. It's Melissa Caprio. All right, from Ginger, Heart Happenings. She had a scope for every sign to help navigate through the energy of the end of the retrograde, which I think is pretty cool because she gave us scopes at the beginning of the retrograde to know how to work with it, and now some scopes here at the end to also know how to work with it. So let's read a couple. So how about Gemini? It's still their birthday. The angels and guides say that you may be feeling a bit of uncertainty in at least one area of your life or indecision. However, they say that moving into your body for answers or getting Reiki, massage, or any healing art will help clear blocks and move you into your desired direction. And one more. How about Libra? Okay, Libra, the angels and guides show opportunities ahead for more money and more balance in your life by embracing the mystery of life and trusting in the bigger picture of things. The angels and guides assure you that everything always works out in your favor, even if you cannot always see it at the time. Be sure and read yours. They're brilliant. Good thoughts about how to work through this retrograde energy. So thank you for that, Ginger. And of course, there's always more going on at True Crime Paranormal. So that's what I have got for Luminous. So I hope that you find some gems in there. So I think that this is a good time to go ahead and get our weekly message from Kathleen. Thank you, Terry, so that we can do some readings and some work for the end of the show. So, of course, oh, Tara said her new puppy is helping with space clearing. Oh, so's mine. Oh my gosh. These little boys are vacuums. They can find anything on the floor. Oh my gosh. You know how when you have toddlers, you're constantly like, what's in your mouth? What's in your mouth? And dragging something out of someone's mouth? Oh, yep. Do that with two little puppies that definitely run faster than you. All right. Here's Kathleen's book. Hey, Trish. Uh, let's take a look. So this is our bibliomancy. So we just turn to a page and that's what we read. So let's see what Kathleen has for us this week. Archangel Sandalphon. So this is a channeled message from Kathleen, from Archangel Sandalphon through Kathleen for us. I come today to talk to you about music. It is everywhere. Listen to the music in nature and it can change your heart. Hear the birds sing, the leaves rustle, the water flow in the creek or river, and with each sound, open your heart to the love that is being sent to you from Spirit. Music is all around you every day. At times, it is a cacophony of many different discordant tones all coming together to create noise, and at other times, it is an orchestra sending notes that soar or dance. Both will influence how you approach your day. Listen to what is around you today. What type of music are you playing in your mind, in your heart, in your physical world? The music that you surround yourself with can influence your life. It is your choice, but be aware that this does affect you in every facet of your being. Try an experiment. The next time you are feeling upset, surround yourself with music that soars to the heavens, that brings laughter to your heart and joy to your ears. See how long you remain in the doldrums. Music is a wonder that all can share and enjoy. I say to you, make good use of music that is in your life to assist you in expressing what you are thinking and feeling, and also to change the way you are thinking and feeling. Music permeates the very cells in you. Music fills you and surrounds you every day of your life. It is the sounds of people chattering, the sounds of a busy city, and the sounds of the country. Open your hearts and your ears and listen to what it is telling you. Music can help you manifest your desires. Play, hum, or sing while you are thinking about that which you desire. Music will enhance your ability to manifest. That is why chanting is so powerful in helping you to awaken your connection to spirit. I bring this to you today to help you celebrate your day, to live in the moment with joy and awareness of the wonderment that surrounds you. Listen to the music of your heart and the earth as they speak to you of love, light, joy, and laughter. Then send it out into the world to bring these feelings to all. You are all grand musicians playing music on an instrument or with your voice. Let the music fill the world to assist all in bringing everything to a higher vibration. I thank you for reading this message and leave you with this thought. You can live a life filled with music that thrills your heart, or you can live it with music that creates tension and heartache. This is your choice. I send you music that thrills and delights you, awakening you to your divine self. Live today surrounded by music that brings joy, light, and laughter, and walk into the world sharing this positive energy with everyone you meet. So there you go. So thank you to Kathleen and to Archangel Sandalphon. Okay, I'm going to take a few looks in the chat here. Mary. Yeah, Mary, let's get a clearing going for you. Gosh, Mary, I feel like it's world stuff, it's also family stuff. Like you're kind of you know, you're kind of just weighed down. So, Mary, I'm going to start at your feet and command a Merkaba clearing, commanding billions of many points of light to flood your system now, completely healing, clearing, and releasing any and all energy that is not yours, energy of illness, of chaos, psychic attack, psychic debris, any energy that could be holding you back or holding you down, commanding these frequencies to be healed and cleared and rendered neutral and inert in all directions of time now through every cell of your physical body, every layer of your emotional body, and every fiber of your spirit body now. I'm just going to watch that work its way through you. So if you could see this, it would look like billions of many tiny points of light, like little blue vortexes racing through every cell, every layer, every fiber. Really big clearing in your sacral and solar plexus, Mary. Yep, and then good work shifting up through your heart. And of course, this is, these are radio clearings. This is quick work. Uh, Work like this over at One Two Listen takes a lot longer and goes a lot deeper, but that's okay. All right, on up into your high heart, pulling a whole bunch of cords there. So many cords from your kids and other people around you that rely on you that, you don't need them. It's just old stuff. Your high heart is where you get all of those little attachments and cords from people that rely on you. It's not negative stuff. It's just, them reaching out to hold on. But sometimes we have to clear them out and give you back your space. Big lump in your throat, Mary. All right. That feels better in your jaw too. Releasing that. So let's clear out your third eye. And balancing that crown. Okay. Good. Okay. All right, Mary. That is a lot better. Let's see how that sits with you. Let's see if we can get you balanced. Okay. Let's see. I'm going to jump back to the other chat to Laura. Laura said, I love some healing energy as I have a bad sinus thing going on since Saturday and a crazy sore throat. It's not the big C, COVID. Remember that when the big C used to be something else? I would love your insight. Anything I can add to my healing modalities. Let's take a look, Laura. Babe, mostly it's just time. It's just going to take a little time. Make sure you're good on vitamin D, D3, and lots of fluids and rest. I feel like it's just going to take a few more days to work its way out of your system. Even though it's not the big C, it's a doozy anyway. So I'm just doing a little healing there in your throat. Good. But yeah, it's just going to take a little time, babe. I'm sorry. That sucks. Okay, I'm going to jump back over into the other chat. We've just got a few minutes left here. Okay. Brandy, yes, a clearing and a reading would help you a lot because you still have a bunch of cords. Uh, two people that you don't want in your life anymore that I think are still, that are hurting you. And so, yeah, I feel like a good clearing. I I don't think you should have to be afraid of what might be said, honestly. Like, especially, I don't know how other people work, but a reading with me would never be scary. Um, it would be helpful, I think, just to help you release some of this old shit so you could move forward. You've had so much grief. You have so much grief that we could be clearing up out of your heart and just, get you back on track. So, I mean, I can always do a little mini work for you here, of course, and I'm happy to do that. But I think what you're asking about is, like a whole session, which I do think you'd benefit from a lot. And it doesn't have to be with me, of course, it could be with someone else too. But a chance to just clear away some of the old cords and negative stuff that have been hanging on. Yeah. And clear some of that grief out of your chest. Yes. Would be very good. All right. Kate said, my son Oliver is depressed and feelings of ending things. I'm moving to downtown Salt Lake so I can be closer because he doesn't want to leave Idaho. Please, can I get your thoughts and good vibes? Oh, you guys are moving. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Let me tune into Oliver. Part of it is I feel like the adults around him have also been very down, and he's hearing way too much talk, like doomsday talk, political talk, ain't it awful kind of talk. He can't get away from it because he's hearing it on social media, he's hearing it at home, he's just hearing it everywhere, and he can't take any more of it. He is such a sensitive kid. Like, I'm gonna suggest counseling, but I'm guessing you guys have already got him in counseling, but he is pretty low. The one thing that came up to me though, Kate, was testosterone. That I'm wondering, as he's got more testosterone dumping through his body, if he's having a hard time balancing that. If he's not seeing a psychiatrist, I'm gonna highly recommend that he does so right away. And yes, coming back closer will help so that you can see him and spend more time with him. But the energy of their house just feels really heavy to me too, especially his bedroom. His bedroom feels bleak. So I'm going to do a quick clearing on his bedroom right now, but anything else we can do to, lighten the energy of his bedroom up, I think will make a big difference or make some difference anyway. I wonder if we could get some prisms in his bedroom window to help get some rainbows through that room to help keep it clear, and a salt lamp in his room. Hell, even a fountain in his room if we could. We're pulling out all the big guns here. Yeah. Everything we can do to lighten up the space of his bedroom is going to make a difference because I feel like he's spending a lot of time in there and it's pretty heavy. Okay. So I cleared it for now. But Kate, let's talk to him about and talk to dad about like what can we do to just really brighten that bedroom up? Again, prisms hanging in the windows outside so that they can dance some rainbows through that room all the time. A salt lamp. And here's the key to the salt lamp because we're seeing all these salt lamps now that they have LED lights in them. And the problem with that is that the thing that activates salt lamps, crystals in general, is heat and or pressure. Well, when you use a LED bulb, you're not getting any heat. So it's not really activating those lamps to do their work. So those are things that you might consider, any of you that are using salt lamps, don't use LED bulbs. I know they last longer and they're tempting, but if you really want like the full benefit of your salt lamp, you got to have an incandescent bulb that puts off a little bit of heat. That's what activates it and does its work. So, those are some thoughts for me. You guys, I'm sorry I'm not going to get to all of you. I wish I had more time, but I don't. So, I have to get out of the way for Lisa. So, I want to thank you guys all so much for being here. I want to remind you that I'm a professional psychic advisor over at 12listen.com. You can find me over there every single day, and I'm more than happy to help you. So come see me if there's anything I can do, and take good care of yourselves. Have a good week. This has been the Katie Weaver Show here on 12 Radio, where we're changing the way you listen to the world.